hột gà nướng, hột vịt lộn, hột vịt sữa, trứng cút lộn, mắm xào đây.
This is Niall Mackay from 7 Million Bikes, a Vietnam podcast. I'm doing my first ever in the field podcast. I've never done this before. First ever. So I'm up in Da Nang right now. We've just done an amazing comedy show at the workshop, thanks to Chris and Chu Hotel and Da Nang 365 as well. We're coming off the stage, me and Jack Nguyen, and I'm here now with Chris, the owner of the workshop, who's been an amazing supporter of 7 Million Bikes. This is our third tour here. I forgot about that until today. This is our third time up here, which is so cool. And then we're also here with Mark and Chris, who are
No, Jack.
That's all right. We're here with Mark. We're here with Mark and Jack.
I'm going to be really upset if you don't keep calling me Chris now.
I'm so bad with names. Like even yesterday,
Well, there used to be more Chris's here as well.
Yeah.
even yesterday, I messaged like someone I was doing an event with, and I was like, "Oh, is Justin going to be there tonight?" And she's like, "There's no Justin here." I was like, oh, fuck, what is his name again? His name is Julian, which is pretty close.
Yeah.
Wasn't that far away. But Chris, I said that.
I'm glad you did.
Always like to follow the popular crowd, so could I change my name from Mark to Chris?
Yeah.
Sure. All right, we got Jack and Mark, father and son from Australia.
Yeah.
Now, and then Subrani, I forgot. You told me your name. Wait, no, tell me. I got it. Subrani. You spelled it, and I remembered it. It's the R and the H.
It's a new one, right?
What's your name? Surabi. I was close. S-U-R-A-H-B-I.
Surabi.
S-U-R-A-B-H-I.
That was it. That's what I said, was it not?
Yeah.
Alright, we got Subaru with us. We got Surabi joining us as well. Don't call her Subaru, she doesn't.
Chris and Jack was hard enough already.
So we're up here tonight. So my name's, we've got a new guest, so I'm going to introduce her. So my name's Niall Mackay, and I run a podcast in Saigon called A Vietnam Podcast, and we share stories of people connected to Vietnam.
Actually,
So I've never done a podcast in the field before. This is the first one ever. So we're recording right now. When we just
Actually, podcast going, okay.
yeah, but it's not live.
Yeah.
But we're going to see how this goes. All right. So first of all, everyone, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yeah. Cheers, guys.
There we go.
Congratulations on the show.
Thank you very much. All right, let's start with Surabi. Surabi, where are you from?
India.
And how long have you been in Saigon? I messed up already. See, I'm out. I'll keep it all in. I'm out of my home comfort.
No edits would be great.
How long have you been in Vietnam?
In Vietnam, about 3.5 years.
And do you regret coming here right before a pandemic?
No, not at all.
What brought you to Vietnam?
Me.
That's quite funny actually, because before I ever started doing stand-up comedy, if someone asked me like what brought you here, wherever I was, I'd be like, a plane.
I brought myself here.
And I was at a stand-up comedy show in New Zealand, and the comedian got talking to the crowd before I'd ever done comedy, and he said, "Oh, what brought you here?" And I was like, "Oh, plane." And he was like, that's pretty funny. You should do stand-up comedy. And my wife was like, "See, because I'd been wanting to do it for years." And so when he gave me, that was one thing I always remember. Like, I should do it. Well, anyway, and then Chris, no, I'm kidding on. Jack, right? Jack, I'm going to give the mic to you. So, Jack, tell us, you just mentioned you're going to a meditation retreat.
Yep.
In London.
Yep.
Okay, this sounds.
Can I preface this by saying it's probably cult adjacent?
Does well, I hope it is. It sounds like it would have to be.
Yeah.
Going all the way to London for a meditation retreat sounds like going all the way to the USA for fish and chips.
Yep.
Why are you going to London when you're in Vietnam for a meditation retreat?
Well, I've already done like a Buddhist style one, and this is like a different thing. And the guy is only going to be there, and it's either that or I have to go to America later. And I'm like, I don't want to go to America, so.
I love how he said that I have to go.
Yeah, I
as
have
the
to
cult
go.
is kicking in already.
I have to go. This was booked pre-COVID. Like, this is like, been waiting. Like, yeah.
So tell us a bit about yourself, Jack. What are you doing here in Vietnam? You're here with your dad.
Yeah.
What's going on with you guys?
Yeah, just been cruising around. Went in Ho Chi Minh, did a couple of days being like tourists, which is good fun, and just being in Da Nang, going around doing all the touristy stuff, eating all the amazing food. It's so good.
So you guys don't live here then?
I live here.
You live here, right? You're visiting.
Yeah.
You're from
Come to visit
Melbourne.
me.
Yeah.
Love Melbourne. So I lived in Melbourne for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in St Kilda.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, one of my favourite
Yeah.
places. Yeah.
So what was it like doing heroin?
Why? Because I'm Scottish.
No, because you're in St Kilda.
Oh, St Kilda.
Yeah.
No. I was in St Kilda when it is the start of the regentrification. I know it's even worse now. Like, got friends that are still there.
Yeah.
He sends me pictures of like the Prince of Wales
Yeah.
on the corner of Fitzroy Street. And he's like, what's happened to this place? And it's like, I mean, it's 2022. Things have got to change. It can't stay the same forever, you know?
Well, just for your benefit, I saw the Rolling Stones at the Palais in St Kilda in 1964. Now, there might be people out there tonight who say, well, that's a big deal. I've seen the Rolling Stones at Kooyong, at Berlin and that. My question is, was Brian Jones in the band that you saw called the Rolling Stones or not? Because in mine, Brian Jones was playing, so it was the first 1964 early days Stones.
Yeah.
Now, to add to that and top myself, I also saw the Beatles in 1964 at Festival Hall, 4 rows from the front. And for anyone who's jealous about, wow, you saw the Beatles, I saw them, but I didn't hear them because they had tiny little speakers and 7,000 girls screaming their upper bodies off. So that's my claim to fame. And usually when people in talkback radio, you'll hear the announcers say, right, we're going to have a competition. What bands have you seen? And people come up with the Eagles and Elton John and blah, blah, blah. I just go, hang on. I ring up and I use the Rolling Stones with Brian Jones and the Beatles, and they go, you saw the Beatles? Just a moment. We have the winner on the line. Here's Mark from Melbourne. So anyway, that's me.
That is definitely, like, I don't know if I've met anyone that's seen the Beatles before. That's fucking really cool. I might have one that nearly tops it, but it doesn't top it. My first ever live concert I saw, I was 10 years old, 1992. Michael Jackson Dangerous World Tour.
Let me top you. When you saw Michael Jackson, he obviously wasn't in the Jackson 5 learning his trade. Well, I did it. It's the same festival hall that I saw the Beatles. I saw the Jackson 5 with Michael Jackson as about a 12-year-old, which I think tops yours because it was earlier. That's all, just chronologically. Then I saw Peter, Paul and Mary, which I think was a big deal, followed by Creedence Clearwater Revival, followed by the Beach Boys, the Eagles.
AC/DC.
Let me just AC/DC, Akadaka. I haven't never seen Akadaka, but just a quick one because I don't want to take up the whole show. But when the Eagles came out their first tour to Australia, I think early 70s, they were so popular that when they got to Melbourne the night before they were leaving for the States, they were booked for one show. Well, they decided about 11 o'clock when that was wrapping up, after the whole place is smoking joints, to go, well, look, we're going to get picked up at the airport, picked up from the hotel in the morning at 6 a.m. to go to the airport to fly back home. Why don't we just change it and they'll pick us up out the front here? And we said, yeah, go. So they played all night. Everyone just ripped in the joint. And that was the Eagles in about 1973 in Melbourne. So there you go.
Well, you can keep it. We're gonna keep it Vietnam focused. So Chris here. No, I'm kidding. Jack and Mark. Jack's visiting. Mark, how long have you been here then, Mark?
About 6 years, but I did come here about 30 years ago. Just after the war, so 6 years this time.
After the war?
Yeah, about
2016 after the war.
No, I came in 1986. I was here in 1986, not far after the war. Yeah.
What was it like?
Completely different, and it's great to see the country has gone from...
Were you in Da Nang at the time?
I came to Da Nang,
in
Nha Trang.
1986.
1986, Nha Trang, Saigon, Vung
There was
Tau.
absolutely nothing in the side of the river, right?
No, and the building, the top height of a building was that 3-story normal thing you see in Vietnam. That was...
What was the main the part of the city that was more busiest part of the city at the time?
Which part? You mean Da Nang or Ho Chi Minh?
Riverside.
Pretty much the other side. Over this side was more. There wasn't.
With the street was like with the truck.
No, nothing like this. Nothing at all like this now.
I know
For example,
Is that the railway station?
Now, what I'm trying to say is that there.
But on that side, which part of the other? I know that this part there was nothing, but on the other side, what was the main part
You're going to have to introduce Iago or so.
I have trouble sometimes remembering what I did last week. I'm not sure. To be honest, I don't want to mislead you, but a long time ago.
So we have a player 7 has entered the game. We got Diego from Brazil. Diego, we're recording this right now. Right. So Diego, you're going to be on a Vietnam podcast.
Is it going on radio?
Podcast.
Well, mate, radio went out of fashion about 20 years ago, but yeah, it's called a podcast, you know.
Available.
Sounds like my grandfather. He's like, is it like the radio? And I said, well, it's like the radio, but on the internet.
AM or FM, yeah.
Internet radio, yeah.
That's how I understand podcasts.
It is pretty much what it is.
But you can choose what you listen
Yeah. Well, so Mark, what brought you to Vietnam in 1986? Why did you come, and then why did you come back?
And I don't want to go on too long with this, but I'm 74, so in 1966, middle of the 60s, I was 18 and I was in the call-up from Australia to join the army involuntarily and come here and kill people I didn't even know. Fortunately, I didn't get called up, but friends did. So I have a young person's connection to the internet as an 18-year-old. And to Vietnam.
I was about to say a connection to the internet.
Australian military.
Oh, listen, I have a rule. I have a quick rule when I'm on a podcast. No, we're not. I can guarantee you that. But I have one rule: if I'm on a podcast, whatever I say, you can't edit it, so mistakes stay in, whether yours or mine do. Okay.
Yeah, you guys are late to the party. I immediately called Jack Chris.
And I've changed my name from Mark.
Well, then you've got to introduce us to Ravi.
Yeah, and then I tried to introduce to Ravi and completely messed up on the.
So just briefly, that quick connection of a young person, then get older, have children, etc. And then I got married very young. I didn't know what was causing it until I sort of sold the panel van. I went, that was the problem. Did you get that?
No, I missed that.
Okay. I had 3 kids by the time I was 22, 3 children.
Shit.
And I didn't know what was causing it until I sold the panel van. The panel van is a car. Yeah? It's like a pickup with a hood on it, and sometimes mattresses back there. Sorry. You know it's not a joke that lands when you've got to completely explain every detail of it.
So Jack, how did you feel about hearing just how you were conceived?
I'm after the panel van, actually.
What kid number are you?
Yeah,
4.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
He's the youngest. He's 35.
Did you get another panel van that I don't know about?
No.
Wait. You are
my son.
Yeah.
He's my youngest son. He's 35. My oldest daughter's 53, which I remind her she's old enough to be my mother. It's like kind of weird when you go, you got a daughter 53. I go, I know. And when people ask me how old are my kids, I go 190. 53-year-old, and every year they turn 4 years older. So it's not far off if I live long enough, and my passport doesn't expire. They'll reach 200 in the not too distant future.
So what brought you back to Vietnam then, 2016?
Okay, so having come in 30, 40 years ago, I came back just because I loved the place way back then. I thought, I wonder if I still do. So I came on the basis of I don't really know, because that was a different person, and this is an older person. And like, as we all know who live here, it just wraps you up and takes care of you, and the people you get to know, and all the expats as well. It's just a great way for someone of my age to live. Like, as I say, I'm 74. I don't think I am, but apparently I am. And so somebody of my age to live making new friends is quite unusual back in our home country, because you just get old. And just quickly, I've got a couple of mates who, because I'm very active on Facebook, and
that's why no young people are on Facebook anymore.
I know, I've got rid of them. They're out. But I've got a lot of older friends, and some of my friends, like guys, I go, hey, get your ass up to get on the next plane, get up here. And I go, well, I'd really like to, Mark, but I'm a bit too old for that now. I say, you're 12 months younger than me. Get on the next plane. So it's that's what is an additional thing of just living in an environment where most people are quite resilient and not bitching and whinging home about themselves. So yeah, that's good.
Well, even I'm turning 40 next month, but even I feel, we were just talking about it yesterday. feel younger here almost. Like
Yeah,
you feel
yeah, you
there's
do.
just so much amazing energy here.
I think one of the keys is that we meet all age groups, we meet new people, but we have a very subtle understanding that none of us are from here because we know we're not Vietnamese.
Apart from Jack.
Except for Jack.
Right.
But then Jack has blue hair, so I'm sort of, the jury might be still out on that. Prove it, blue hair, Vietnamese.
Yeah, people forget I'm Vietnamese, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Not hard.
So, Jack, you're the first blue-haired Vietnamese I've met in 40 years of coming to this country, so feel very privileged.
I'm very honored.
Sorry, I'm taking over here.
No, go for it. It's awesome. Well, I want to hear what Jack. What do you think of Vietnam? How long have you been here then?
Only
4 days, yeah.
4 days?
Yeah, 4 days.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
40 years versus 4 days. So what had your dad told you about Vietnam? What was the expectations versus the reality?
We'll be right back.
Join pilot and adventurer Fernando Pino as he takes you on journeys to discover exciting destinations across the UK and Europe. You'll fly with him to hidden gems and experience local culture, from bustling streets to serene hideaways and the best places to eat, sleep, and play. Travel Plans is more than a podcast. It's your ticket to exploring the world and its history with a friend. In this episode, we are flying to discover a beachside paradise perfect for the whole family. Discover golden sands, activities galore, and even free childcare so you get your own break too. Why am I still here?
Ooh, I wasn't expecting you to be so sweaty. Like,
Yeah, I'm sweating my balls off right now. It's so hot here.
Yeah.
Quite to be expected.
Yeah. But no. Like, you think, you'd be a little sweaty, not just like constantly buckets everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, how do you sell moisturizer, Jack? Because I don't need moisturizer.
Yeah.
My skin is permanently moisturized just from sweat.
Oh, that's it's a misconception that you don't need moisturizer because your skin is oily. Actually, for some people, you moisturize your skin properly, it's not that oily anymore, and it's yes.
You're a dermatologist.
No, I would not call myself such, but I have been researching skincare ever since I was 7 years old. I looked at my mom's skincare products, every single ingredient. I googled it. I go to every single day. I read clinical studies every single day since I was 7 years old up until now. So it's 12 years of constant. I know it's Google. It's not proper research. But 12 years of constantly reading and reading every single day. I still read about skincare to this day. I don't know,
I thought you were just in an MLM scheme when you said you sold skincare. I did not realize you actually
Become a dermatologist then.
Because the thing about
Or
me,
a meth
creator. A meth lab operator, yeah.
A meth lab operator with great skin.
Yeah.
I hate MLM schemes.
Black teeth, but great.
I would make a wallet out of your skin if I could.
Oh shit!
Oh, I forgot. I didn't realise Hannibal Lecter had joined the party.
I hate MLMs. I hate Avon. I hate all of them. It's just what I do is just I'm like a sommelier, but for skincare.
Hey. Jack, continue. You got Jack's got beautiful skin as well. You're sweating your balls off.
Yeah, but the food,
how else are you finding 4 days in Vietnam?
the food is incredible. Every time it's different and it's somehow better and really good and just better food. You've had Vietnamese in Melbourne, and you come here, it's this is that's just crap. That's not.
So my sister lives in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And it's when she first got there, she messaged me and she's like, I'm going to a Vietnamese restaurant, and I was like, oh cool, send me the menu. She sent me the menu. First thing on the menu was pad thai.
Yeah.
Second thing was Chinese vegetables.
Yeah.
Third thing was what was that again, red curry or something like that. I was like, this is not, and of course at the top it's authentic Vietnamese. Yeah. I was like, this is not authentic Vietnamese. That's all.
It's literally just all of
Sang Choi
Southeast
Bao.
Asia.
Yeah.
Sang Choi Bao.
On the menu.
Get me Sang Choi Bao.
Is the
Did you get me a beer,
microphone
Jack?
good enough to get the sound from here?
Is this one?
There's 2 microphones.
Ah, there's one here as well.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yep.
Ah, great.
So where, Mark?
Jack.
Chris.
Jack.
Chris.
Chris.
I'm Jack.
You're Jack.
Yeah.
Jack, when are you leaving?
He's Jack.
He's going to a meditation retreat in London.
Yeah.
Which I'm still very confused about.
It's because it's with an American.
Yeah.
And going to London is...
No, he's not hot.
He's not hot?
He's not hot, no.
He's in a cult.
Yeah, I've joined a cult. So.
He's joined a cult.
Yeah,
What kind of cult is this?
Well, it used to be called the Catholic Church.
Oh, is it the one where they molest boys?
Well, they do a lot of that.
You're not a boy anymore, Jack.
That's part of the that's a USP. That's a unique selling proposition.
Too old for
Become a
that
Catholic
audience.
and get to molest children.
So when do you leave Vietnam? What are you going to do before you leave?
Next Sunday, so we're going up to... Are we going to Hanoi? No, Hanoi tomorrow?
Hoi An.
Hoi An, that's right.
I do the same.
No, listen,
Yeah.
don't worry.
Yeah.
Everyone
I
does
make a
it.
mistake all the time.
Everyone
I
does
told
it.
Jack we have a show in Hanoi on Sunday.
Yep.
And he said, all right, cool. And I was like, so we're going to go to Hanoi on Sunday.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And then Jack was like to me, so are they going to pay my flights? And I was like,
Flights to Hoi An.
We're going to get a fucking taxi? What are you talking about?
Yep.
And then I was like, have I been saying Hanoi?
Yeah.
I meant Hoi An. Hoi An. We're going down the road to Hoi An.
That's everyone does it.
Yeah.
They still do it.
Still do it?
So,
Oh,
I-
I thought it was just me.
I was just in Hanoi
Oh,
dealing with the immigration there, and everything was going, however, crap. But then the one day they're like, you need a translator in here, and then we'll deal with you. I'm like, well, I don't have a translator. I've just come from fucking Da Nang on my own. I didn't bring one with me.
You don't want it in your pocket.
So of course I'm like, I'll ask in the groups, the Facebook groups. Hey, I need to go into immigration this afternoon. Does anyone want to be a translator? Happy to pay, like some monies for it. And people are answering me like, yeah, okay, but isn't immigration in Da Nang? No, I'm in Hanoi. But this is the Hoi An group. Yeah. There is no immigration in Hoi An. And I did it to like 3 or 4 groups.
Yeah.
So 1, I was still looking for a translator in Hanoi. 2, I had to go and delete all of the ones in the Hoi An groups.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better. I was so confused, and he was like, are we going to get a flight? I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Just like
Okay, right.
Chris, I don't see why.
Hey, sounds more
That's the Italian part of me.
Well, I am more Scottish than him.
well, it is. I don't sound like anything, man.
So we've just had a party foul there, Mark. So I just decided he's got all Australians, threw his beard down everywhere.
That's the
The
Italian
last
part
thing
of
he's
me.
cleaning up is his
Our
phone.
second
though.
names.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. I'm like looking at like, clean up your phone, man.
There you go. I'll do it. I'll help you out here.
Well, they told me it was
So, Mark,
waterproof.
what can you remember the names?
Well, I won't help you out
I
that
told you
much.
Mark again.
It's
Jesus,
Chris.
I keep keeping all of this in.
It's
Jack,
Yeah.
what foods have you tried? Do you know the names of them?
So pho, and what was we haven't had com yet. We've had what was the one we had yesterday? We didn't have the fish one. Ban Kan, and this morning was Mi Quan. And we went to the other side.
Bacha Hanoi.
Bacha Hanoi.
Oh,
Beautiful.
And then
lovely.
what was we had for lunch today?
Yeah, Mian. Mi Quan.
Mi Quan. That's right.
Mi Quan, very good.
Yeah.
Have you, do you
And then we
speak
had-
Vietnamese?
Not a lot, but enough to sort of
Enough to order food?
order food and count up the numbers.
Yeah.
Good at pointing. It's
Go to the market.
Hi, Bolt,
Yeah.
Making
What's your
animal
name
noises.
again?
Yeah.
Mark.
Mark.
Let me give you my full name. Marco Antonio Dominic Ferrari. But you can
Marco
call me Mark.
Antonio
Dominic Ferrari.
Okay. Well,
M.A.D. Ferrari.
Matt Ferrari.
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
About 6 years. This time. This
So when he
time.
first came in,
1986, before you were born.
God, that was before I was. Okay, so for reference, I was born in 2002.
fuck off, Jack.
Well, for
You didn't even celebrate the
hey,
Have you got an ID, man? Are we allowed to serve people that young?
Yeah, I graduated college in 2004.
Hey,
I was 2 years old when I graduated
to
college.
be the old guy again, topping the young guys.
There
You
you
know.
go, yeah.
So, my oldest granddaughter is 24, my second oldest granddaughter is 22, my third oldest granddaughter is 19, but the one that's younger than you is 14. Bang! You're served.
Wow, I am taken aback.
How many grandchildren do you have?
Four granddaughters.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lots of
One lives in Finland.
How many of them are yours?
No.
They're his nieces.
Yeah.
One in Finland?
Lots of panel beaters in the family.
One in Finland. One in the University of San Francisco. They live in America. My oldest daughter's an ex-ski instructor in America. 2 in Australia. 1 in Finland and 1 in the US.
How'd they end up in Finland?
And the oldest one, how old is it?
24.
24.
She's in Finland, yeah. And I sort of try and feel younger, so I always every year say, "Hey, happy 21st," to make myself feel younger.
Now let's hear from Chris, who's cackling away here in the background. Now Chris claims he's Scottish. No, he is Scottish. Tell us more about how long have you been here? How did you end up with the workshop? Which is, I love this location. Have you been to Indica in Saigon?
No.
Indica. This really reminds me of Indica, right?
It's a good name.
Similar vibe. That's a good name, right?
It's a little bit more green than Indica.
Indica.
That's what I like.
What? More green than Indica?
Yes.
Wow.
Indica's no green, basically.
Exactly. Well, yeah, because
But
the green is fake green. Let's just make that.
Yeah.
Well,
it's fake grass. Wow, that's another type of green.
It's mostly tiles in there.
But so, Chris, tell us a bit more about your story in Vietnam.
Hi, podcast people. I'm Chris. Didn't mean to stay here this long. Same like anyone.
Like everyone.
Came with a 2-year program. I spent the first year and a half not doing that.
Yeah.
And then the last half of it started doing that, and then I was surprised that it was fun and good. And
program?
That was the workshop, yeah. Like when I first came here, I did want to do something with art. Like I wanted to get a little place, do some exhibitions, work with other artists, teach a little bit of art to young kids and old kids. Tired of all of that now, so now I host comedians instead. But yeah, started that, and I was planning to fuck off at some point. And then, but Da Nang was kind of cool. It was when I came here 8 years ago. It was not much happening, but there was a lot of potential. And yeah, then over those years, people that were here started doing some more things, and because we were one of the only places doing shit with art, people gave a fuck and started contacting us about stuff and wanting to do more. And then I was all ready to get out of here, and I was going to go to India. Got offered a job in India, painting murals. I was like, well, that sounds pretty sweet. But then it was also like, hang on, if I go there, I'll probably want to start doing whatever it is I'm doing here. I just have to start over all again. And Da Nang, it really did have this cool potential for the future. You know, you saw it was a growing city. There wasn't much here, but that meant there was much that could be made here, and you know that's what's been a lot of fun, and that's why we kept doing what we're doing, is because there's a lot of people that come through, both international and local, that want to follow their passions or do something interesting, and we try to give a place for people to do that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Including old people, which is very nice.
Yeah, we're not age discriminant between the old or the young, whether you're called Mark or Jack or Chris. You know, I was quite surprised when you said you were 19, but then after hearing your stand-up, I wasn't that surprised. And yeah, I'm not surprised that he's 74, because he reminds us all the time. Yeah. I know how old the Beatles are, Mark. I know. I wasn't. If I was around, I would. If I was living in Melbourne, then I might have seen them too. I'd been at the gig with you. What did I get? I got like the fucking Blink 182 were coming to town. Great. All right, I got to see them in Portsmouth. Great. That was.
Hey, Chris,
that was good, and I paid money for it.
You're the entrepreneur that brought this fresh meat up for the Beatles joke again, to do the story again one more time.
That's why we bring comedians to Da Nang, is so that Mark can do his thing.
I just want to say that my grandma's 71.
There you go.
She's like still in her prime, Mark.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
you are now the 500th guy who's trying to palm your grandmother.
Wait, Mark might have known her back in 66.
Wait, how do we not know that Mark isn't the father of
there you go.
Jack? Do you know who you mean? Have you had a paternity test recently?
I think I look fully.
You mean I have another brother?
Yeah, brother.
Yes.
And just so you know, this used to be blue before I grew it.
Enticing.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, I was going to ask. So you right now you're running this comedy summer. Tell us more about the comedy summer. Why are you doing that? It's amazing. This is the third show of 4. what made you want to do that? And yeah, I mean, thank you so much for bringing us up, because this is only the first night of 3 shows, and we're both like so excited to be here.
Yeah, well, you know, we don't have too much stand-up comedy in Da Nang. It's, you know, it's like not a big scene here yet, and before COVID, we were all making those efforts to, you know, get comedy here, and that was from way back when as well. And we were lucky enough to get introduced to you guys through Keela Rose and stuff as well, I think, back in the beginning. And actually it was also her a little bit that kind of spurred it again here. You know, we lost a lot of people left during the visa apocalypse or whatever. But including a lot of the people that like doing comedy, you know, a lot of the people that liked enjoying comedy. But also since then, a lot of new people have come in, and, you know, fucking everybody needs some more laughs again. But yeah, in quick succession, a couple of people reached out, and also people saying, oh, when are you getting comedy back again? And there wasn't anything else going on as well. Like, after lockdown, everything took a bit of time coming back, especially because it was winter, you know, and we all just missed summer, and it's like winter time, and you're like, oh, no, I want to be inside because the weather's shit outside.
What is the winter in Da Nang like? We've never been here.
Like some years it just passes by like a breeze. Other years that breeze knocks down your house, kind of thing. Yeah,
like summer in England.
Yeah, it's like about as predictable as Scottish summer. Yeah, there you go. You could have a good one where you get a couple of weeks of sunshine. No, here it gets baking hot. But the winter, yeah, like when I first moved, I moved here in June when I first came, and people were all like, oh yeah, you know, it's going to get cold here, it's going to get cold. I'm like,
It doesn't get cold.
but yeah, bullshit.
But there was this year
Feels
was
like it's cold.
exceptional.
Yeah, last year winter was cold.
And not only the winter, but it kept raining for much longer than it.
Yeah.
I got one big rule on a Vietnam podcast: we don't talk about the weather.
Yeah, that's a good rule. It's like they've you brought it up, motherfucker. God.
You were like, what's it like?
Cutting
Jeez.
myself off. It went too far.
Yeah, you can edit out that one. There you go.
It's something
Bring it up
that
to weather.
people need to be warned about.
I tell you what.
True, though. Everyone's like sunny Da Nang, but it's not always sunny.
Yeah,
Da
that's
Nang.
super sunny. Someone to tell me. No. Oh, fuck's sake. It's shite. No, it's all right. That's is pretty much the main reason why I'm here. I don't like cold and wet. I can deal with hot and wet, but cold and wet, I'm fucked off with that already.
Yeah, that's the worst possible weather is when you have like 1 or 2 degrees and it's raining.
Yeah,
Because when it snows, it's better because at least you don't get wet.
I agree.
So, Neil, I'd like to ask you a question coming up to Da Nang. My son and I have just been down in Ho Chi Minh City, and I've been locked down here for 2.5 years, so I've been very much into this living in Da Nang by the beach, not many people. You've come up tonight, and what I've noticed amongst the crowd tonight is everyone is just going, we are 1,000% behind you just because you're up there having a go. Did you feel that?
I mean, the real answer is no. I didn't feel exactly what you're describing, but it was like an awesome show. It's difficult when it's spread out like this.
Yeah.
Like you really. That's why when I said in the beginning, I was like, come closer. You need people closer. Yeah. I mean, ideally, like I didn't even really think about it. All of these lights should have been off, so it's just the lights on the stage. And
seats at the front.
Yeah.
So you're in Hicksville.
Yeah.
You've come from the big city, and we're the Hicks. Yeah, we don't know crap.
No, I don't feel that at all.
No.
But no, I mean,
that was the
It's a
vibe,
difficult
though.
room.
but yeah, more difficult than some other rooms, but it was still so much fun. I mean, everyone, you can just see everyone enjoying themselves.
Can I just fine-tune
What did
that?
you think the energy was like?
Can I fine-tune it a bit because me being a local and the conditions we've lived over, like we all have in different places with COVID, we've all had different experiences. And the experience here in Da Nang has been we've been locked away in central Vietnam, not in a big city like Ho Chi Minh or New York or Melbourne or whatever. This little unique experience. You've come up from the big city, and great that you answered that with complete honesty because I could feel it. Because I'm local and feel that we were all just going, hey, this is just cool, just have the guys up telling jokes. Awesome. And I know that you wouldn't have, now you've explained it, because you've come out of a big city going, this is a difficult room. We're going, hey, thanks for coming. And we really mean it. Thanks for coming up and just entertaining us, in a way that hasn't been done for, as we all have in different experiences with COVID. it's a good sort of a good thing for you guys to come up and just have a go, and do well. So thank you very much.
I mean, man, that's like just like you can see I'm beaming now. Like that's just made my night. Like that's fucking. Yeah, I mean, and so I guess as well, being on stage, you're kind of just talking to you're not really like looking at faces but I mean, I felt the energy tonight. People were enjoying themselves, which is the main thing. I guess not knowing the context though, from what you've just told me, man, that makes me feel. He's just telling me that like people here have been waiting for people to come up, and that's.
Well, I was just saying that we're all willing, and I asked Neil, do we feel that? And naturally, the answer, great honest answer, no, not really. And but that's it. No, it wasn't an insult. It's like because you've come out of Saigon, etc. We're here going. We're just rapt that you're here, and we're very understated in a way because we're sort of been trained off entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been the same problem here for a while. Is there's just not a big enough pool for both comedians and for audience. And some of the more popular times here, where you had the combination of like tourists and the expats, but those are always still out of norm. Like if you get 30 people, is about that's probably the nice target that everyone comes away smiling, but it's not always the case.
Well, interestingly, Jack's from just come from Melbourne and works in Melbourne, and it's been the most extreme lockdown virtually in the world.
Longest in the world.
And it's smashed the city, as Jack tells me, that it's no longer exactly what it used to be. It's trying to put itself together, but not sure in what direction because people are,
That's what I was going to say about here.
Sorry.
Because the last time we came up was it April 2021 or May?
Oh, in the middle of COVID?
Yeah. So it was like middle of COVID, but like it was before the bad lockdown in Saigon. It was before the
the
wave
shit,
in Vietnam, or before things got really bad. So like Da Nang had already had a bit of a lockdown. We'd had a small one in Saigon, but most of Vietnam was pretty normal.
2020 was pretty cool.
2020 was fine.
But even then, because Da Nang had the lockdown, we've literally been here 2 hours less than before we got here. Already, where we're staying in the
and doing it.
I was like, that wasn't there. That wasn't there. That wasn't there. That wasn't. Even looking on Google Maps, there's so many more places. And I said to Neil, because we don't know, because we've come up from Saigon, obviously, and you don't know the vibe.
Yeah.
And I was like, Da Nang must be hopping. It's like And Saigon is too. I mean, Vietnamese people are like, "What? We're free? Okay. Wow, we're free. We're normal." But it's interesting to say that things take time to get back to.
Yeah, and the virus is still floating amongst us. So, people like myself, I always wear a mask, but I'm 70. Did you know, Chris? I'm 74. How did that happen?
Welcome to the workshop. Do you need a wheelchair?
Is this where we do the bingo, young
the
fella?
steps problem. Bingo's on Tuesdays.
Install the reps.
How did you get down those stairs, Mark? How did you get down those stairs?
I need help to ride the motorbike.
We've got really good staff here. No, he's 70, just for the people who can't see Mark, he's 74 and he looks like he's 73.
I don't feel a day over 72 either. But
we must be good genes, because Jack said he's 35. I honestly thought you were about 25. When you said 35, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I know, right? It's the cult, man.
Yeah. But the meditation helps.
No,
it's why he's going all the way to London for that. And it's work.
It starts with M, but it's not meditation. It's my blue-haired Vietnamese son over here.
Oh no, he's getting mixed up because he won the meth.
Got two sons.
All right, now before we'll wrap it up. Now, when I do my episodes,
we don't want to go. What happens when the guests don't want to leave? What do you do?
They just turn off the microphone.
We just keep talking. Just keep talking. So we ask the same 5 questions at the end of every podcast.
You don't usually drink.
Edit that out. I don't normally drink in podcasts. It's one of my rules. I drink and drive, but I don't drink in podcasts.
So you're just hungover in podcasts.
Yeah, hungover in podcasts.
So you know what's going to happen. This is going to be your most popular podcast ever.
Probably.
And you have to start drinking through every
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly.
Or it ain't going to work.
And calling everyone Chris.
Yeah, calling everyone Chris, right? Now, so we ask the same 5 questions at the end of every podcast. And while I try and remember what those 5 questions are, we're going to hand it over to Adrie Lopez, who's not even been introduced yet. So my wife has snuck in and she's made a few comments. So Adrie, tell us more about your Vietnam story.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that was a very open question.
Yes.
This is all going to be cut out.
No, nothing's been cut out.
I didn't hear this before. Yeah, it's new for me.
This is all going to be edited out. No. Thank you, Descript. I will plug Neil's favorite affiliate
I know
link.
you're wasting time that's going to be in the video talking about how it's not going to be edited out, but it's still going to be in the video.
Just remember, there are old people,
Super meta.
and they like G-rated. Yeah.
Yeah, man. If an old person tunes into it, they're going to tune in for a while. They have to stand up and change the dials too.
I will talk about not my Vietnam experience. Tonight it was really interesting to run into someone else who's from Texas. Not you with the Texas hat.
Yeah, that's just cool.
Which you thought was chilly. The other
Chili's cooler.
The other flag that looks like Texas. There was an El Paso in here. In the crowd.
Oh yeah,
I like that. El Paso.
Yeah, small world.
You're from El Paso too?
My parents are from El Paso. Both of my parents are born and raised in El Paso. I grew up in Dallas, Texas.
Oh.
So meeting.
So you could be packing.
I could be what?
Can't get on the planes with it these days, Mark.
What does that mean?
Packing a gun.
Oh.
Texas, you could be.
No, they've got the TSA.
Every Texan I've ever met, and they always do some smart-ass Australian whack 'em. They go, "You got to remember, man, I'm from Texas. I could be packing."
I am the least Texan
Right.
Texan you will ever meet. I didn't like country music until I went to college. When I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, I was
like it now?
I was like 20 years
Until.
old. 20 years of avoiding country music is a feat in Texas.
Yeah.
I'm not a steak girl. I don't like steak. If I go to a barbecue restaurant, I prefer to get a plate full of sides, macaroni, coleslaw,
Yeah, I mean macaroni,
steamed vegetables, whatever else is on the
Steamed
side
vegetables
plate.
in Texas.
Yeah.
Beans as well, yeah.
I am like such a weird Texan.
Can I just say this to Miss Texas over here and Braveheart? You are having a go at my son for going on a retreat to London when your wife has...
He's a weirdo.
What in Texas? What did you just say you had in Texas? Food.
Steamed vegetables. Covered in butter and possibly cheese? No, I don't know. No, that's not
on
true.
the steamed vegetables.
Yeah,
Steamed
I'm
vegetables in
like the
Texas. Well,
weirdest
if I
Texan
had
you'll
it,
ever.
You don't
This
have a
sounds
Texan
like British
accent, you
cuisine.
don't have a gun.
I don't have an accent. People are always disappointed. They're like, "You're from where? Why don't you?
Oh,
why don't you sound?
I know
Why
exactly
don't you sound like this? Howdy, y'all."
I know some Texans, and I'm going to tell them that not only did I see the Beatles in 1964,
you saw them in Texas?
not only did I see the Rolling Stones with Brian Jones, I met a woman from Texas who had
Steamed vegetables.
steamed vegetables.
Yep. That was
Could
my
open
story.
a Texas steamed restaurant.
All right, I got the final questions. Okay,
Oh, sorry.
we ask these questions at the end of every episode. All right. Now, Mark, you can answer the first one. I'm
At every live episode?
All right, and the live episode. Right?
How old is Mark?
All right, Mark. Question number
Oldest
one.
under the table, bud.
Have you seen the Rolling Stones?
Could you be more specific? Who were the
Sorry.
band members?
Which
Which Rolling Stones?
Right. What one reason would you use to persuade someone to come to Vietnam? One reason.
Look at his Facebook, you'll have 1 million.
Speaking as an Australian 74-year-old with my only term of reference is old geezers, I'd say the price of beer.
I think it doesn't matter how old you are. I think that's why I'm still here. Now we're going to turn it over to Chris. I mean Jack.
Oh, you had me for a second. Wait. Oh, it's okay. It's an empty.
All right. What one reason would you use to persuade someone not to come to Vietnam? After 4 days.
You will need to bring a bucket for all the sweat.
Yeah, for it.
Getting called Chris all the time.
No.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get this name right. Surabi. I got it right?
Yeah.
Yay! All right, Surabi. What
Oh,
common scams have you heard of or known of in Vietnam?
What? Sorry, I missed it.
What common scams do you know about in Vietnam?
Have you heard of this thing? Ignorance is a bliss. I'm a very ignorant person. I don't pay attention to such things.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that was a scam. Where they're like, oh, no, I don't know.
Well, we're going to ask Chris the same question then. What is a common scam in Vietnam?
Oh, there's a lot, but usually they just end with this gesture.
This is a podcast.
Oh.
People cannot
then
see
you have to come to Vietnam
what
to
this
find
gesture
out.
is. The jazz hand. The jazz hand.
Oh, you gave it away. Yeah,
Really?
whatever scam it is, it always ends with jazz hands.
We never know.
And you don't have, and you've got empty hands. They've got jazz hands.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, Adrie, what's something you hear about Vietnam that's not true?
I live in Vietnam, so don't hear much about Vietnam.
Oh.
That's not true.
Well, what do people say to you from abroad? And you're like, nah, that's bullshit.
That's a good one. Okay. Well, one for me. There's not much to eat if you're like vegetarian, because Vietnamese eat everything, which is true. They like pork and they like meat and they like all parts of the chicken and all parts of the pig and all parts of the cow. However, there are lots of Buddhists in this country, and there's lots of delicious. It's essentially vegan food. Vegetarian and vegan food. And in the last 5 and 6 years,
is there any
5 to 6
steamed
years,
vegetables?
There is a ton of steamed
actually, at the vegan places, steamed vegetables are very hard to come by. It's usually
You
like
have to go to Texas.
it's usually fried or like in a delicious sugary sauce.
You're not wrong, though.
But it is vegan and it is fucking good.
Yeah, the Vietnamese veggie restaurants are actually a good find if you're traveling here. Because first off, they got like huge menus. And most places only sell like a couple of dishes.
Yeah, they've got
But in the veggie
everything.
restaurants, you can get a veggie version of like everything.
Yep.
And it's like half the price of the meat version.
And like plate is also like much more bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're usually friendlier.
No, Chris.
Yeah, Chinese.
That's not because they're vegetarian, it's just because I think they're friendlier.
Yeah, but
Like
see,
restaurant.
no one's sort of thinking of the plants. Happening to them.
They're on fire.
All right, Chris. Next question is for you.
Oh no.
All right. What question would you like to ask the next guest?
The next guest.
Yes. So we got the next guest on the Vietnam.
And you're gonna like note this down and remember it for the next
Well,
It's a recording.
well.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, I'll be wait. It is a pertinent question. I'll be honest. The idea was But the idea was that you would come up with a question and then we would ask it to the next guest.
I get you.
And then we did episode 1, and I forgot about it, so we didn't ask it to the second guest. And then we did episode 2, and I forgot about it. I didn't ask it to the next guest. So we've never actually used this.
It.
Yeah, but then we recorded the next episode and never asked them what.
You never listened to the recording.
Yeah. So,
You didn't listen to the end.
well,
Is this Back to the Future or Into the Past?
yes, a bit of both of them. But what we will do is we will take all of these questions that I hadn't listened to, compile them, and then they will be used in the next season.
Oh, that's a good.
So what question would you ask? Let's just not say the next guest, because I've just given up the ruse that we don't ask the next guest. Any guest. What question would you ask a future guest of a Vietnam podcast?
If you weren't doing what you're doing right now, what would you be doing?
That's a good one. If you weren't doing what you were doing right now, what would you be doing? All right. Now, this is the final question, and this is my favorite question that I've ever come up with on a Vietnam podcast. So we're going to go around. Everyone's going to give one answer, okay?
Start with
The
Jack.
question is, Jack, if Vietnam was a person, how would you describe them?
Jack.
Oh, that's a good
If
question.
Vietnam was a person, how would you describe them? All right, we're going to go around the room.
Okay, so so if Vietnam was a person, well, Vietnam would be, of course, frugal, crass, disregards the rules, but very honest, very likable, and like honest as in like not honest to the law, but honest to friends. Like he's always the one that you can count on when
he
or she really.
You said he.
I said he, but if it's like if it's like a Vietnam she, then you could always count on her or him
You do
or
know
them.
you're not getting paid for this bit, so
I'm really not, but like I'm trying to be inclusive here, but like
Sounds complicated.
I would say that like Vietnam as a person would be very, truthful. They would fuck with you no matter what, and
You've said like 8 words.
Adrie,
You've taken all of the words.
Yeah.
all of the words.
Frantic. Vietnam. He or she or they or them, whatever their pronoun is frantic. Just all over the place all the time, which is awesome, but also frantic.
I've answered this before on a previous episode, so my answer is random. It's just the most random place in the world.
I thought you were going to give a random answer.
No, it's random. Vietnam is just random. I drive about and I'm like, that is random. Why are you in a roundabout under a overpass having a barbecue right now, drinking beers with your friends with plastic stools? Like, this is random.
Your answers do match
you
up.
guys obviously
Random,
all
frantic.
message each other.
Yeah.
Well, like, we're all gonna meet at the roundabout under the overpass. In the middle of the busy highway, bring the blue plastic chairs, bring the beer, bring the fucking hot pot, and that's where we're gonna sit and we're gonna eat food.
Or that might also be where people do aerobics at like 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah, random. That is my word. I don't have a description. One word,
Doesn't
random.
rain there.
First thing I see coming off the plane back to this place, went through Da Nang, we go under the overpass, go on the scooter, dog in the front of the scooter, paws up, wind blowing through its hair. What the hell? So cool.
God, you ain't seen nothing yet.
So cool.
Yeah, I know, right? We got a dog, and I'm like, yeah, that's.
It's like
over the top
I've
of the
seen
scooter,
a full
little
cow
VTLs.
on the back,
Yeah.
and the cow looks like it's just like. Meh.
Yeah.
Wait till you see someone driving with one hand with like a falcon on the other hand. That's fucking normal. Yeah.
People are into fucking keeping
I've seen
falcons
people
here.
with like a
Eagles.
what's the big lizard called again?
Like
An iguana.
Like an iguana.
That's
I've seen
it.
someone
Yeah.
drive a bike with an iguana over the front, like you'll see
That's
like
No
a
way.
Yeah,
so
fucking.
Yeah.
We saw that, right? And
Very
because
little surprises.
when Vietnam goes from making cars to motorbikes, they'll do an ad and they'll have a picture of the VinFast motorbike, and underneath it'll just say, "It'll fit." And then you follow that with hundreds of ads of what
Alright,
you can
Chris.
put on this little bar.
how do you describe Vietnam as a person?
I would say Vietnam is like kind of a bit of a trailer trash ex-army general who really cares about how they look on Instagram.
That's a good one.
That is the modern generation talking.
Vietnam. It walks slowly and carries a big stick.
So if Vietnam was a person, they'd really enjoy being eaten out of every day.
Come on,
really long-
hit us with it.
I know you got a lot on your mind.
Go on, Surabi. If Vietnam is a person, how would you describe it? Or them?
My answer kind of is similar to Mike has said it in a better way. I was gonna say like cute angry.
Cute angry.
I think I'm cute and angry.
All right.
Cute angry.
Guys, thank you very much for being on. This is the first ever live discussion episode of a Vietnam podcast. It's been so much fun. Thank you to Adrie Lopez Mackay. Thank you to Jack Nguyen. Thank you to Surabi. To
Chris.
Yes.
Jack, Mark, and the real Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to the workshop for hosting us tonight. Guys, thank you very much. Good night.
Niall. In denial.
Hột gà nướng, hột vịt lộn, hột vịt sữa, trứng cút lộn, mất xào đây. Mất xào đây.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're like me, you may use your laptop at places where you have to use public Wi-Fi. This opens you up to digital snoopers. It's a massive problem. It can be your internet service provider, or you know who, looking at what you do online, or a cyber criminal trying to steal your bank passwords or credit card info, or even a hacker at the next table trying to steal your sensitive data. These days, it is vital that you keep your data safe. NordVPN keeps all of these snoopers away. It makes your internet activity private, protects you from accessing dangerous websites that are phishing for your data, and lets you enjoy your favorite content securely, even while away from home. And it's easy to use, even I could use it. I've actually been using NordVPN for years now here in Vietnam, and I'm excited to be an affiliate partner with them. I've used NordVPN to watch Netflix, BBC, Disney Plus with ease, and I also know that my information and data are safe from prying eyes, whoever they may be. Join now and you'll get 68% off and 3 months free when you go to my link, nordvpn.com/SMB. Just again, for those hard of hearing, nordvpn.com/SMB. The link is also in the show notes. I know nobody checks them out, but go check that out and you can get the link from wherever you are listening to this podcast. As an affiliate partner, it also means that I will get a small commission when you sign up, but at no extra cost to you. So not only will you be getting a great deal through 7 Million Bikes, you get a great VPN and you'll be supporting 7 Million Bikes podcast. Stay safe online and enjoy the shows you love. Any questions, just let me know. You know how to get in touch with me. And thanks for listening to this show. Cheers.